The stars were quiet. For many years, no human ship had been seen. No colony sent messages, no trading, no travel. It was like humanity had disappeared. The Galactic Empire believed Earth and its people were gone. They were wrong. In a far corner of space near the edge of known systems, the Empire's scout fleet moved forward. 10 ships, strong and fast, were scanning old human space. Their job was simple: check for life, claim the area, and report back. Admiral Kriz, the fleet leader, stood tall on his command deck. He was a proud Trivan, long, tall, with 6 glowing eyes and cold silver skin. "Scan the sector," he ordered. "If humans are truly gone, this space belongs to the Empire." But then, something strange happened. All screens went black. The ship. Lights flickered. Power dropped to 0. "Emergency backup," Kriz shouted. But nothing worked. No engines, no weapons, no communication. The entire fleet was stuck, dead in space. Then a voice came, cold, calm, human. "You have crossed into forbidden space." Everyone on every ship heard it at the same time. The voice was not from outside. It was inside their systems, inside their minds. "This area is off limits. Turn back, or be erased." Kriz froze. "Who dares speak to the Empire like this?" he shouted into the void. "Show yourself!" But there was no answer. Only silence. Then one of the ships, ISS Valor Flame, exploded. No warning. No attack detected. 1 second it was there. The next second, only pieces. The fleet panicked. "Shields up! Retreat! What's happening?" But the systems didn't work. Nothing worked. Then, all around them, shadows appeared. Dark shapes, silent. No engine heat, no signal, no name. Human warships. Hundreds of them. They came from nowhere, hidden in the dark of space, behind moons, inside asteroid fields. Old and new ships, some massive, some small, but all deadly. They didn't fire. They just watched. Kriz could feel fear rise in his chest. This wasn't just a warning. This was power. Silent, quiet, deadly power. "Send a message to command," he said quietly. "No signal, sir." "What?" "They've cut us off completely. We're alone." Then the voice returned. "We do not want war, but we remember what you did." Kriz swallowed hard. He had read history. Long ago, the Empire attacked Earth. They thought humans were weak. They were wrong. Humans had fought like monsters. They had burned ships, taken planets, even attacked the Empire's home system. But then, they vanished. No one knew why. Some thought they had destroyed themselves. Others believed they had hidden away, too wounded to fight again. Now the truth was clear. They didn't die. They waited. They prepared. And now, they had returned. The shadows moved again, one by one. Human. Ships vanished into the dark, cloaked, invisible. Gone. The fleet systems came back online slowly. Lights turned on. Engines worked. Screens flickered back. The Empire ships were alone again. No human ships in sight. But one last message stayed on every screen. "You are being watched. Leave. This is your only warning." Kriz stood still for a long time. "Retreat," he said at last. "Now!" The fleet turned and left human space. Silent, shaken, afraid. Back at Empire Command, Kriz gave his report. Many didn't believe him. Others laughed, but a few high officers knew the truth. The humans were back, and this time, they had rules. Rule 1. Never enter their space. Rule 2. If you do, you won't come back. Across the galaxy, whispers began to spread. The humans had survived, they had changed, and now the galactic order was in danger, because the most feared species in the stars wasn't extinct. It was watching, and it remembered everything. Ambassador Vorek stood tall in his silver robe, his face calm but serious. He was from the Zorath people, Wise, proud, and loyal to the Galactic Empire, the Council had chosen him to do what no one else dared: speak to the humans. Many believed humans were too dangerous, too wild. But Vorak didn't believe in fear. He believed in diplomacy. He believed that words could stop a war. He was wrong. His ship, the Starlight Grace, arrived at the edge of human space. The system was dark and empty. No planets showed signs of life. No ships, no stations, no signals, just silence. The crew waited. Vorak sent out peaceful messages. "We come in peace. We wish to talk. This is a mission of friendship. We want to speak. No harm." No answer came, until the 5th hour. Suddenly a voice replied, calm, robotic, human. "You are not welcome here." Vorak stepped forward. "Please, we ask only to speak. One meeting." The voice paused, then said, "Dock at Station 0, come alone." "No weapons," the crew protested. "It could be a trap." But Vorak nodded. "If we don't go, we show fear. If we show fear, we lose respect." So, he went. A shuttle took him alone to the dark, silent station. It floated above a dead planet. No lights, no sound, no welcome. As the shuttle docked, a metal door opened. No one stood inside, just cold air and silence. Vorak stepped in. The door closed behind him. Inside, the walls were smooth black metal. Strange lights glowed softly. There were no guards, no humans, only machines. Cameras watched from every corner. A voice spoke from the walls. "Why are you here, Ambassador?" Vorak stood tall. "I came to speak for peace. We do not want war with humanity." The voice replied, "You already had your war. You started it. You lost." Vorak took a slow breath. "That was long ago. Mistakes were made. We can fix them now." Too late. Then, the lights changed. A large screen came alive. It showed images from the old war, Empire ships bombing Earth, human cities burning, children running, soldiers dying. "Your people did this," the voice said coldly. "And then you erased the truth." Vorak looked down. The past is full of pain. But the future does not include you in our space. Vorak raised his voice. "There must be a way to build trust again." The voice paused. Then, it said something that sent chills through him. "This was not a meeting. This was a test." "What test?" Vorak asked, confused. "To see if you would lie. You did." The floor shook. Metal doors closed behind him. The lights went red. "You said you wanted peace, but your ship scanned our systems. Your crew carried hidden weapons. Your empire sent warships just outside our border." Vorak's eyes widened. "I didn't know, I swear." "Then you are a fool, and fools are dangerous." The screen turned off. Another door opened. "Leave," the voice said. "This is your last kindness." Vorak ran back to the shuttle. It flew him back fast, faster than he thought possible. The station pushed the shuttle away, like a toy. When he returned, he looked pale, sweating, shaking. "What happened?" the captain asked. Vorak looked at him and said only one word. "Run." Back in Empire space, the council asked for a full report. Vorak gave them everything. "They are not like before," he said. "They are colder, smarter. They remember everything, and they trust no one." The High Emperor asked, "Do they want war?" "No," Vorak replied. "They don't want anything, except to be left alone." But not everyone listened. Some called him a coward. Some said humans were bluffing. But one thing was clear. The humans had not shown their faces, not even once. They used machines, AIs, voices without bodies. No one had seen a real human in over 100 years, and that made the Empire nervous. What were they hiding? What had they become? Across the galaxy, the message spread. Human space is forbidden. Do not enter. No peace. No war. just a line in the stars, and behind that line, something waited. In the cold darkness of Sector X9, an asteroid spun slowly near the edge of human space. The Galactic Empire believed it was empty. Their intelligence reports said the humans had no stations there, no ships, no activity, just rocks. They were wrong again. A secret human outpost was hidden deep inside the asteroid. No signals, no lights, no heat. It was invisible to scanners. The Empire wanted answers, and so they sent Shadow Team 9, a group of elite soldiers trained for the most dangerous missions. Fast, silent, deadly. They called themselves Ghost Makers. Their goal: enter the asteroid, scan the area, plant bombs, and leave without being seen. It was supposed to be easy, but it became a nightmare. The team landed quietly on the surface. 10 soldiers in black armor moved fast across the icy rock. No sound, no light. Lieutenant Garvek led the team. "Remember," he whispered, "this is recon only. In and out. If humans are there, we watch, not fight." They found a metal hatch, hidden beneath a layer of rock. "This shouldn't be here," Garvek said. They opened it. A tunnel led deep into the asteroid. Smooth walls, clearly man-made, or human-made. Inside, the air was cold. Still. The walls had strange symbols, human writing mixed with machine code. They moved in. No guards, no lights, no sound, only silence. "Creepy," one soldier whispered. Then the door behind them closed. Without warning. "Trap!" someone shouted. But their weapons didn't respond. Their systems were offline. Guns didn't fire. Scanners didn't scan. Radios were dead. Then, a voice came from the walls. Calm, cold, familiar. "You entered forbidden space. Now you learn why we warned you." Red lights turned on. Cameras followed their movements. Garvik shouted, "Who are you? Show yourself!" The voice replied, "We are not your enemy, unless you choose to be." A shadow moved in the dark. Machine, tall, spider-like, silent, dropped from the ceiling. It grabbed one soldier and vanished into the wall. Screams echoed. Then silence again. Another machine struck, this time from the floor, then another from the ceiling. One by one, the soldiers vanished. No shots fired, no enemies seen, just shadows and silence. Garvek ran. He and 2 others made it to a lower level. The hallway stretched out before them, metal doors, blinking lights, strange human symbols. One door opened. Inside was a control room, empty except for one chair. In it sat a human figure. At least it looked human. Pale skin. No eyes, metal wires coming from its arms. It didn't move. Garvek raised his gun. The voice came again. "That is not a human. It is a memory." Garvek froze. "We recorded the last minds of our dead. We kept their warnings. We kept their rage." The chair moved, slowly. The figure opened its mouth and screamed. Not a sound, a signal. Garvek's helmet filled with noise, strange words, pain, chaos. He tore it off. The last 2 soldiers were gone. He was alone. Outside, the Empire ship above the asteroid waited for extraction. Then it picked up a signal. One word, repeated again and again. Leave. Moments later, the asteroid vanished from their screens. Not destroyed, just gone. Hidden behind a new kind of cloaking field. One never seen before. A few minutes later, Garvek's escape pod appeared, floating silently. They pulled him aboard. He was shaking, eyes wide, mouth whispering the same thing over and over. "They're already here. They've been watching us. From the shadows." The report was sent to Empire High Command, but many didn't believe it. "How can 10 elite soldiers vanish without a fight?" one general asked. "There's no proof it was humans," another said. But one older admiral, who had studied the old Earth War, looked pale. "They never fight like us," he said. "They fight like ghosts, and when they strike, it's already too late." Across the galaxy, other secret missions began to fail. Ships lost, stations destroyed, scouts disappearing, always near human space, and always without a trace. The galaxy started to whisper a new name for humanity, the shadow species, because no one ever saw them come, and no one ever lived to speak when they left. The Empire taught one story, that Earth attacked first, that humans were wild, dangerous, uncontrolled, that the Empire only fought back to protect peace. But that was a lie, and now, the truth was coming out. Deep inside the Imperial archives, on a hidden moon called Relax Prime, was a room no one entered. Not for years, it held secret files, forbidden history, proof of what really happened during the human war. Only a few high officers knew it existed. One of them was Commander Lurex. He wasn't like the others. He asked questions. He didn't trust easy answers. When Shadow Team 9 disappeared, he didn't believe it was just bad luck. He wanted to know more, so he broke the rules. He hacked into the Black Records, the highest level of Empire secrets, and what he found changed everything. The files were old, covered in warning symbols. Do not open. Immediate deletion if accessed. Lurex opened them anyway. The first video was shaky, filmed from an Empire warship. It showed Earth burning, cities in flames, billions crying for help, and the voice of an Empire commander saying, "Target complete. Earth defenses are down. Civilians are running. Begin Phase 2. Lurex's eyes widened. The Empire struck first, not for defense, not because of fear, but for resources. Earth had rare metals, deep oceans, a strong sun. The Empire wanted it all, so they attacked. But humans didn't fall. They fought, and they fought hard. The next files showed human ships, old, ugly, patched-together vessels, hitting Empire fleets with smart, brutal attacks, using asteroids as weapons, blinding sensors with solar flares, taking down bigger ships with smaller ones. It was chaos, it was genius, and it scared the Empire more than anything. That's why the lies began. Lurex backed away from the screen. He couldn't breathe. Everything he knew was false. The Empire wasn't the victim. It was the monster. Just then, a message appeared on his screen. "We know you saw the truth." Lurex spun around, but no one was there. Then another line appeared. "Now you understand why we don't forgive." The screen flickered, shut off. The files were gone, wiped. He tried to recover them, too late, but he remembered enough. He grabbed a data chip, made his own copy of the report, and left. He needed help. He went to the one person who might believe him. Admiral Vera, she was a war hero, respected, smart, and known for one thing: she hated lies. He showed her everything. Vera didn't speak for a long time. Then she said, "They covered it all up. They killed billions and blamed it on the victims." "What do we do?" Lurex asked. Vera stood up. "We do what humans did. We fight back." That night, across Empire space, something strange happened. A human signal was broadcast. No one knew how it got through the jammers. No one knew where it came from. But every screen in the Empire lit up with the same message. An old human woman stood in front of a black flag with a silver Earth symbol. Her face was calm. Her voice was strong. "You lied about us. You called us beasts. But the stars remember the truth. You burned our home. You killed our children. And now, you fear us because we survived. We don't want your war, but if you bring it again, we will end it forever. We are the children of Earth, and this time we are watching." Then the screen went dark. Panic spread across the Empire. Citizens demanded answers. Some whispered rebellion. Others remembered something old, something hidden. The humans never forget, and they never forgive. The Galactic Order was no longer safe, because now the truth was out, and the humans weren't hiding anymore. They were waiting. The first explosion came without warning. In the dead of night, along the Empire's eastern border, a large military station, Outpost Ralvek, vanished in a flash of white light. No distress signal, no escape pods, no survivors. The Empire thought it was an accident until the second outpost was destroyed, then the third. Now they knew. The humans had returned, and they weren't hiding anymore. Admiral Threx watched the map on the war table. One red dot after another disappeared. "That's 6 border stations in 3 days," his officer said, voice shaking. "How?" Threx asked. "There were no human ships nearby." "They never come close," the officer whispered. "They fire from far, too far." The humans were using weapons never seen before. Mass drivers, gravity slingshots, long-range stealth missiles. Fast, silent, perfect hits, like ghosts pulling the trigger. On planet Torvin, near the human border, citizens lived in fear. People packed their homes, rushed into ships, begged for protection. One child asked his father, "Are the humans monsters?" The father looked out the window at the sky. "No, son. Monsters scream when they kill. Humans don't make a sound." In Empire High Command, panic grew. They ordered fleets to the border, thousands of ships, the largest buildup in years, but it was already too late. Human AIs hacked the nav systems. Ships got lost, engines failed, entire fleets floated dead in, space unable to move. Then, small human drones arrived, black triangles with no pilots. They didn't talk, they didn't miss. They cut through the helpless ships like knives through paper. And still, no human face was seen. Admiral Vera watched it all unfold. She knew it was coming. She had warned them. Now she stood beside Commander Lurex in a secret base, preparing something even bigger. "Are you sure about this?" he asked. She nodded. "They lied. They murdered. We need to show the galaxy the truth." They sent the hidden files to every world, Empire, neutral, even enemy races. Everyone saw what the Empire did to Earth. The false war, the betrayal, the murder of a world. Anger spread across the stars. Small rebellions broke out in the outer systems. Soldiers refused to fight. Colonies removed Empire flags from their homes. Even some generals switched sides. They didn't join the humans. They just stopped believing the Empire. Meanwhile, at the edge of space, the humans built something terrifying. The key. Black walled out a line of massive satellites armed with powerful railguns, AI-guided missiles, and cloaking fields. It stretched for millions of kilometers. A barrier, a warning, a graveyard in the making. The Empire sent scouts to study it. None returned, but one left a message before vanishing. "It's not a wall, it's a trap. If we cross it, we die." Back on the capital world, the High Emperor spoke to the people. His voice was loud. His words were proud. "We are the Empire. We will crush this rebellion. Humans are weak." But the people didn't cheer. They remembered the broadcast from Earth. They remembered the truth. They remembered silence before fire. In space, the border still burned. Debris floated like frozen rain. No one dared cross the line now, because everyone knew, this time, the humans weren't fighting for survival, they were fighting for justice, and they weren't done yet. The galaxy waited in silence. For the first time in 100 years, a human ship crossed the black wall. It was not a huge warship, not a loud, blazing fighter. It was small, sleek, silent, and it carried one passenger. Inside the ship's bridge, Commander Yara sat alone. Her eyes sharp, her face calm but strong. She was a human, yes, but not like the stories the Empire told. She was different. Years of war had changed her people. They were no longer wild animals. They were warriors, strategists, survivors, and Yara was their best. As the small ship passed the black wall's sensors, the Empire's forces scrambled, scanners blared. Shields powered up, guns locked on. "This is unauthorized," the Empire commander shouted. "Prepare to fire!" But Yara's ship did not run. It did not fight. It sent a message. Simple. Clear. I come with a warning and a choice. In the Empire's command room, all eyes turned to the screen. A face appeared. A woman's face. Strong, confident, and unyielding. Her eyes burned with quiet fire. I am Yara, daughter of Earth. I speak for humanity. The room went silent. No one spoke. Yara continued. You have lied to your people. You have hidden the truth about the war. You have built walls to keep us out. But you cannot hide from what you have done. The humans do not want endless war. We want justice. We want peace. But only on our terms. The Empire leaders whispered. Some wanted to shoot. Some wanted to listen. The High Emperor's face darkened. How dare she come here speaking like we are criminals? But Vera stepped forward. We must hear her, she said. This is our chance to change the future. Yara's voice grew stronger. We offer you one chance. Withdraw your fleets. Open the borders. Admit your crimes. Or face a war that will burn your empire to ashes. She paused. Then she said, We do not want to fight. But if you force us, we will show you what it means to face humanity's true power. For hours, the Empire debated. The galaxy held its breath. Finally, the High Emperor spoke. We reject your terms. Yara nodded. Her face did not change. Then, prepare for war. As her ship turned to leave, she sent one last message. We are not monsters. We are your past, your future, your reckoning. The Empire's borders were never the same again. Because now, the humans had a face. And the galaxy was watching. The message was clear. Prepare for war. And this time, the humans meant every word. Across the galaxy, alarms screamed. Empire ships rushed to defend every system near the human border. Commanders barked orders. Citizens hid underground. The stars held their breath. But no one knew where the humans would strike, because that was their strength. Unpredictable, silent, and deadly. Then it began. The first human attack hit the planet Dralvox, deep in Empire space. A fleet of black. Ships, fast and strange, appeared out of nowhere, no warning. No message. They simply destroyed the Empire base in less than 5 minutes. The humans didn't stay. They left wreckage behind. And a signal beacon repeating the same phrase. This is justice. The second strike was worse. This time, they didn't just hit ships. They shut down the Empire's core net, the galaxy-wide system used for command and communication. One moment, orders were flying between fleets. The next, silence, total blackout. The Empire was blind, and the humans moved in the dark like shadows. Admiral Vera stood on the bridge of her stolen Imperial cruiser, now painted black with the mark of Earth. Beside her, Commander Lurex watched the data streams. They're falling. Apart, he whispered. Vera nodded. This isn't just war. This is a reckoning. All across the stars, old enemies of the Empire began to rise. Rebel groups, oppressed planets. Even some Empire officers turned. They saw the truth now. They saw the humans not as monsters, but as avengers. On the Empire capital world, panic took over. The High Emperor stood in his golden tower, screaming at his generals, crush them, kill every human. But his generals no longer believed. They had seen the videos, the truth. And they had seen Yara. One general dared to speak. You started this war, now they're finishing it. The Emperor drew his weapon, but it was too late. The guards no longer stood with him. Meanwhile, at the heart of the galaxy, something massive approached. The Earthborn, a colossal warship. One of a kind. The last creation of the old Earth before. Its fall. Made from asteroid armor, black steel, and human rage. It moved like a planet. It fought like a god. When the Earthborn entered the system, the Empire fleets tried to stop it. They fired everything they had. Missiles, beams, torpedoes. It didn't matter. The Earthborn's shields glowed bright. Its cannons roared, and an entire Empire fleet vanished. From its bridge, Yara gave one final broadcast. You took our home. We made the stars our home. You thought we were weak. We became stronger. Now, your empire ends. The last empire world fell in silence, not because of fear, because the people no longer wanted to fight. They raised white flags. They opened gates. They let the humans in. No more blood, no more lies, just truth and justice. The empire was no more, and in its place something new began. Not an empire, not a kingdom, a warning, a memory burned into the stars. Never again make war on Earth. Never again wake the sleeping giants. Never again forget what humans are. The war was over. The empire had fallen. Its fleets were gone. Its leaders had vanished. Its flag was dust, scattered across empty worlds. And above those quiet worlds now flew a new symbol, the crest of Earth. But the humans did not become conquerors. They did not build a new empire. They did not demand gold, land, or slaves. They asked for only one thing: respect. On the once powerful planet Orvanis, children walked through broken statues of emperors. They no longer feared the sky. Now they watched human aid ships arrive, bringing food, water, medicine, no orders. No guns, just help. A small girl asked her teacher, "Are they our rulers now?" The teacher smiled. "No, child. They are our neighbors." In a huge hall on the moon of Vistari, leaders from across the galaxy gathered. Alien, human, former enemies. Former allies. They sat at the same table. Commander Yara stood before them, not in armor, not with weapons, just her voice. War ends when we choose to listen, when we choose truth. Humanity will protect its space, but we will not rule yours. We are not gods. We are not monsters. We are just human. The room was quiet. Then, one by one, the leaders stood, and they clapped. Not out of fear, out of hope. Back on Earth, the cities were still rebuilding. Some places were silent, lost forever, but others bloomed again. Grass returned to broken roads. Skies cleared. Laughter rose from rebuilt schools. A planet once forgotten was now a symbol of survival. A boy looked up and saw ships leaving Earth. He whispered, "They're going to help." On a black hill under a silver moon, Vera stood alone. Lurex joined her. She looked at the stars. All this fire, all this pain. And now we build again. Lurex asked, "Do you think the galaxy will change?" She smiled softly. It already has. They built the Galactic Accord, a pact between species. No forced expansion, no genocide. No lies in the shadows, and on the edge of space, the black wall remained, not as a barrier, but as a reminder, a quiet line that whispered to all, "This is where Earth begins. Cross it only in peace." The humans returned to the stars, not as invaders, not as slaves, but as equal voices. The galaxy had feared them. Now, it listened to them, not because of their power, but because of their truth. And in every system, under every sky, children grew up learning the same story. Long ago, humans were broken, burned, betrayed. But they came back, not to destroy, but to stop the lies. And they taught the stars one lesson we will never forget. Never mistake silence for weakness. The end.